It's been some time since the Super Bowl happened in the beginning of February. The game was dominated by the GOAT Tom Brady and his Buccaneer squad, so there really wasn't much to talk about there. So instead, we thought we would take a look back at some of the great ads that were shown and review them. You're watching LTV Sports, and this is the Super Bowl ad rankings. So some of you might already be aware, my name is Chris Hunt. I am the current sports producer for LTV, and I love the Super Bowl. I can't wait for it every year. I watch it all the way through, and I enjoy every game. Even though this one wasn't, as much fun, because Tom Brady happened, but it is what it is.
Hey everyone, it's me, Michael, and today we're going to be watching some ads from this year's Super Bowl. I was interested in the game. I watched primarily for the commercials.
I'm Brian. I do not care about the Super Bowl.
Hey guys, I'm Rebecca, and I will be rating some Super Bowl ads.
How's it going? My name's Nick. I'm a first-year freshman at the College of New Jersey, and I'm minoring in marketing. So I'm kind of interested in advertisements and marketing in general.
I do have some interest in advertising. I actually have VHS tapes worth of old TV recordings from the earlier 2000s and late 90s. So whenever I want to watch old commercials, there are a few compilations, several compilations on YouTube from decades ago.
And then I also love the advertisements of the Super Bowl. I think there are a lot of funny ones out there, a lot of ones that really inspire people. And because of that, I am pretty interested in advertising.
I avoid advertisements at all costs, and I am ready to dive into this corporate hellscape.
And I've always had a love for the Super Bowl commercials. Not so much the games, but I do like the advertisements. So now we're going to go check them out.
So first up, we got GM, and I'll start by saying this was the only ad that I watched during the Super Bowl that made me openly laugh. So I really did like this one, so let's jump right into it.
Did you know that Norway sells way more electric cars per capita than the US? Norway.
I remember seeing this one, and I was like, wow, that's great.
That right there killed me the first time we saw it. Will Ferrell's just hilarious. I love him in general, but I thought that was great. It was just so unexpected.
With GM's new Ultium battery,
I feel like the inclusion of Will Ferrell automatically elevates this commercial to a whole nother level.
America. Keenan.
Oh,
Norway's
Keenan.
EVing us. Wait, what's this?
Oh, it's my daughter's birthday. She's really into pirates
I don't
lately.
care. Grab an EV.
I love it. I think it's such a great commercial. It's so funny and just bizarre, and that's what I love about it. But at the same time, it does share a really good message that, the USA needs to pick up on our use of electric cars. Because other countries are beating us, so they're using this sense of nationalism to make the everyday person want to be part of this cause and want to beat out other countries in the EV production. So I just think it's really, really good. Really good commercial. One of my favorites, easily.
I really like this commercial. I think it's a funny commercial. It shows the company's vision pretty well and also gives it like a comedic twist. I think Will Ferrell's great in it, and they kind of make it like a competition to have like the best electric vehicles. I don't really have too much to complain about this commercial. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
And they're all in different places. Come on, this is like a 10 out of 10. Like, that's so funny.
This commercial is so good, so funny. I love Will Ferrell. Love my boy Kenan Thompson. Excellent commercial. This is an easy 9 from me.
It wasn't all too funny, and I was a little bit confused by, oh hey look, Will Ferrell's here with a beard, but what's he advertising? Apparently it's electric cars. Good message. Interesting choice of celebrity cameos. I mean, it was a bit out of the blue, but still welcome to see Kenan Thompson, and I definitely didn't expect Aquafina. That'll probably be a 5 out of 10.
Overall, pretty funny. Good message. Electric cars are good, so I like that. So I'll have to give it, we'll give it an 8 out of 10.
So after a lot of high praise, 1-5 brings GM's score down to a 41. Let's move on to M&M's. All right, next up we got M&M, which I know a ton of people like.
Since 2012, I think, I wrote some of these down. So, of course, this one just adds to the list. They had...
2012, there was the one that introduced Miss Brown, and Red took off his shell to dance to LMFAO.
2013, Red was singing I Would Do Anything for Love. That one actually caught more so after the game than during the game. 2014, some European crime family captured Yellow during a grocery run. And then recently, they do something like a 2018 red red or
I think I know way too much about M&M's commercials.
I know a ton of people like the M&M ads, and I know they have one, I think, like almost every Super Bowl, and they're well known for their Super Bowl ads, and I thought this one was pretty good, so let's jump into it.
I feel bad for kicking your seat on purpose.
I'm sorry for mansplaining. That's when a man...
I know what it is.
We should have just told you.
Huge explosion of blue smoke.
I wish you didn't have to hear all that.
It's definitely relevant,
Sorry,
so I
I
like
called you
that.
Karen.
And
That's my
any
name.
and all Karen
Sorry, your name
jokes,
is Karen.
I wholeheartedly
I promise I will
approve
not
of.
eat any more of your
So
friends.
there he is, Dan Levy.
Really?
They got him for this ad. Not a bad spot.
It might happen one more time.
Probably one of my most favorite commercials that I saw during the Super Bowl. I think it was really funny, and the best part about it was they made M&M a solution to the problem. Sorry for calling you Karen, here's an M&M. Perfect way to show the product. The only thing I didn't love was that they're like killing that red M&M, and he's like in the car like completely like screaming for his life and stuff. Like that's like actual like murder. It's kind of like sadistic if you think about it. Other than that, really good commercial, and they show the product off well. 9 out of 10.
It makes you want to get M&Ms, you know? Easily an 8, I think. I think it's a solid 8. I think I've seen better M&M commercials, but this one was good. Solid. Definitely solid.
That is such a good ad. The M&M ad, so clever. They're just talking about like all of the things that are trending these days. Karen, mansplaining, gender reveals that are gone whack. What was the first one? That was sorry for kicking your seat on purpose. I love this ad. Another 10 out of 10. I think that's so clever.
I like this one. It's funny. It's to the point. It's effective. All you really had to do was remind me that M&Ms exist, and I will immediately want them. And that green M&M, she's fine. So I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
I think I would give M&M's, I think I'd give that an 8 out of 10 for adding to the list of good or great, actually. Adding to the already pretty long list of M&M Super Bowl spots. And I don't think this doesn't detract anything from their current repertoire. Pretty good so far. I might actually make it an 8.5.
M&M's beats out GM with 2 10s, with a total score of 45.5. Next is Reddit. This one excites me a ton. This one is Reddit. This one was great. I really appreciate this one. So let me give a quick reading of it. Wow. This actually worked. If you're reading this, it means our bet paid off.
Big game spots are expensive, so we couldn't buy a full one, but we were inspired and decided to spend our entire marketing budget on 5 seconds of airtime.
One thing we learned from our communities last week is that underdogs can accomplish just about anything when they come together around a common idea.
Who knows? Maybe you'll be the reason finance textbook have to add a chapter on tendies. Maybe you'll help our dash superb owl teach the world about the majesty of owls. Maybe you'll even pause this 5-second ad.
Powerful things happen when people rally around something they really care about. And there's a place for that. It's called Reddit. This one is so good. It's such a powerful message. So if you don't know, what this is basically referencing is what happened with Wall Street Bets, or Reddit, a subreddit. Wall Street Bets was able to fight against some big companies in the stock game. And they were able to pump up, namely, the GameStop stock through the roof, something we haven't seen, I think, ever for GameStop, to the point where it reached $450 a share. Mind you, GameStop was trading at around $10 at best for the longest time. So by doing this, a lot of just everyday common people are able to make money out of nowhere. So that's why they're talking about this underdog thing. And I love that they're making an ad about it. The underdogs can accomplish anything. It's just so powerful. It's so smart to capitalize all this publicity that Reddit was getting at the time. It's just so smart. And just saying like, oh, like we can only afford a 5-second ad, but we thought we'd try anyway because that's what the lesson we've been taught recently is. It's just so good. It's such a good ad, man. I know that not everybody probably caught it, but now you're going to see it on websites because everybody's talking about it because it's just crazy. Nobody was expecting to see this, and you get a flash, and you're like, whoa, what was that? And you look it up to see what it was, or you pause the TV and you read it. Such a powerful ad. I love it. Easy. 10 out of 10. The best ad of the Super Bowl.
Pretty good. I think out of all the ads, this is the one that I remembered the most. And it was like just having it flash on screen for a moment with that little hacker graphic. I paused it and I remember it. I think it's definitely the most efficient ad, 9 out of 10.
As much as I like taking money from rich people, I was not a huge fan of this commercial. If you don't know what Reddit is, in my opinion, and that just flashed on the screen, you're gonna kind of brush it off. If you have someone in the room or something that knows what it is and they explained it to you, then it's good. But honestly, I think a lot of people might have missed it. Like if you're looking at your phone or something, you might have missed it. It was a good idea, and I like the message behind it, but I don't know how well it was executed. I know Super Bowl ads are a lot of money and everything, but not a huge fan. I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10.
For Reddit, that one was, I think, one of the most powerful and one of the, even though a bit oddball and out of the ordinary, it was still pretty interesting, and I was a bit surprised. I didn't even know Reddit was going to do an ad until I actually saw it during the game. I'm surprised to say I might actually give Reddit a 9.5 out of 10.
I've never really seen Reddit ads, but they did something like this recently. They have billboards, and they had billboards for something, and I was like, wow, Reddit has ads? That's dope. And you know what? It's insane how expensive airtime is just for the Super Bowl, and they spoke on that, but they found a loophole. Reddit found a loophole. That's amazing. 10 out of 10, of course.
Reddit just falls short at beating out M&M's with a total score of 44.5. All right, next up is Doritos.
I remember seeing this Doritos
Lately,
commercial, and my friends and I were really freaked out.
Quite like myself.
Does Matthew McConaughey have depression?
Oh boy, Matthew McConaughey.
I want to
Matthew?
What, it's another car commercial where he does that weird thing where he's like,
Some days are harder than others.
oh yeah, Lincolns are such a luxury. Those weird commercials are going around. What's gonna do it?
Solid ground.
Doritos. They are very cheesy, very crunchy.
He's like, my life used to feel fuller. I don't feel like myself lately. My man needs a therapist, not Doritos.
My family and I called this one Flathew. Like Flat Stanley, but Flat Matthew.
He's Flat Stanley.
3D Doritos actually aren't something new. They were a product originally released in the late 90s, early 2000s, or maybe just the early 2000s. I remember them being in a can, similar to the Lay's Stacks.
This was a very big one, trending on Twitter, so you know they already did their job well, so I gotta rate it high. Matthew McConaughey does a great job, and I think they make it pretty funny. They show the product off well, they reintroduce the product off well. My only tiny complaint is that when he goes into that vending machine, he's technically stealing the product. 9 out of 10.
I don't know. Honestly, it's not a bad commercial, but you gotta understand, Doritos is known for having their Super Bowl commercials, and they've had so many good ones in the past. And this is probably, in my opinion, one of their weaker ones. So for that reason, I'm gonna say it's a 6 out of 10.
The point is, it's a fine commercial. It's a fine commercial. I'd give it a 5.5, 6-ish. If I had to give it anything, I'd give it a 6, I guess. Because it's a big name, big name Dorito, big name man.
More or less, if they wanted to do it a little bit differently, maybe instead of focusing on, hey look, Matthew McConaughey is Flat Stanley, but he ate a 3D Dorito and now he's puffed up again. They could have done it a little bit differently if they wanted to plug the fact that Doritos 3D are not a new thing and they're coming back after I think 15 years. This is a 15-year absence. That gets overall from me a 7 out of 10.
So we got a good celebrity endorsement. We've got this absurd concept. We got a popular song. These are all the makings of a great commercial. I thought it was great. I don't know what making a Dorito 3D does exactly to make it better or worse, but I want it in my mouth right now, quite frankly. So, 8 out of 10.
Doritos is not looking too hot with a total score of 36. So far, the lowest we have. All right, finally, we have Toyota. And I remember this one. It's a very powerful message. But let's watch it before I get into it.
I can already tell that this is one of those short film type ones. It's just inspirational, and it tells you nothing about the product.
Mrs. Long?
Yes?
We've found a baby girl for your adoption, but there's some things you need to know.
I actually do remember watching this during the game.
Her legs.
So we're going for Jessica Long's wife. Okay.
I know this is difficult to hear.
What's that? Is that a tear? Am I crying?
Mrs. Long?
It might not be easy, but it'll be amazing. I can't wait.
That was
to
a good
meet her.
one.
I think this was a really like beautiful type of like award-winning ad. It was a really good story, very emotional. Story-wise, I think it's a 10 out of 10. Really good story, good like message behind it. The only thing is that by the time like I was done watching it, I forgot what company was actually part of that ad. It wasn't as much of like a Toyota story as it was a story of the swimmer. So yeah, story-wise, I give it a 10 because it was a really nice story. But honestly, advertisement-wise, I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
You know what? Commercials have the ability to like really pull on my emotions, and that just did. 10 out of 10. I didn't see it during the Super Bowl, so first time seeing it, 10 out of 10. That was amazing.
In all honesty, I actually really liked it. I hate ads to begin with, so I feel like the less it feels like an ad, the better. Do I think it's effective? No. I will never associate this with Toyota, but it's a heartwarming message. It was well made, very artistic. So 9 out of 10.
For the most wholesome and the most positive, not too jarring, not too up in your face, this one was pretty casual. It wasn't really advertising anything. It was telling a story and sending the message. I think this one gets probably the same. This might even be a 10 out of 10 from me. The Toyota one has to be among the top. It wasn't an in-your-face car advertisement or something for one of their new makes or models this year. An uplifting story on how Jessica Long, Olympic swimmer, was able to overcome what made her different from others and still make a name for herself and thrive later in life.
I think Jessica Long's story is so cool, and I love how she's getting the spotlight here. My issue is, I just think it's very weird that Toyota's kind of using her story to sell their cars. I just think it's kind of weird that they're kind of just using this amazing story for advertising purposes and advertising cars of all things. I just don't see the correlation there. So I think when you overall look at the ad, it's a good ad. I just don't know why they did this exactly. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'd say it's 7. It's still a good, effective ad. I think Jessica Long's story alone gets it to a 7. Really cool. Yeah, I think 7's fair. 7 is fair. Toyota finishes the day with a total score of 43 to make them the 3rd best. And there it is, folks. Our final Super Bowl ad rankings. In first place, we have M&M's. Second place is Reddit. Third place is Toyota. Fourth place is GM. And last place is Doritos. All of these ads were so much fun to watch, and we really enjoyed getting to rank all of them. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in looking at these ads further, they'll be listed in the description down below.